Hey folks, welcome to Helen Roscoe Yoga on YouTube. I hope you are well. In this short practice today, I'm going to take you through a breath-focused inquiry. The aim being that I would like you to deepen your self-awareness through the breathing spaces in your body. So getting an understanding of where you can experience and feel your breath when you're breathing. In moments when we're feeling stressed or anxious, these sorts of practices can be very reassuring for our nervous system. They can be very grounding, and they can help us release unnecessary tension in the body and in the mind. I'm going to do this practice from lying on my back, but you could do this from seating in a chair or standing on your feet. And at some point, I'll incorporate some of those ideas into other practices as well. So in terms of getting comfy on your back, what you might like to do is have a little folded blanket for your head. Have it a good height, not too high that you feel like your head is really lifting off the ground and that your chin is compressed, but just enough for you to feel that sense of openness here across your neck, but also a length along the back of your neck as well. So it's all about finding a neutral position for your neck that feels comfortable and balanced. Now I'm going to have my knees bent and my feet on the ground because this is more supportive for my lower back and my pelvic region. Another option is that you could have a folded blanket or bolster underneath your knees, and again it's just a little bit more supportive for your back, so there's less pressure going through the spine if you have your knees bent. Now we're just going to spend a few moments resting here on the back of your body. Maybe there's a stretch you'd like to take. Sigh your breath out. Have a little shake out. Through your feet, your arms, your elbows, your knees, into your hips, your shoulders. And then we're going to take a few moments to snuggle, in particular around the tailbone and the pelvis. Again, you might find it useful just to have a little blanket there for a little bit of padding underneath your pelvis. And then your arms away from your body. I'm just repositioning the cushion for my head so my neck is free. And I'm just going to take a few moments checking in with myself. So how do you feel today as you rest on the ground? Can you take yourself into the experience of your body settling? So what does it feel like to meet the ground today through the back of your body, if you're resting on the back of your body? Or if you're seated on a chair or standing, through your feet, through your sit bones. So just notice how your body meets the ground. And instead of trying to almost place yourself or hold yourself on the ground, let's just reword it so that the ground meets you, the ground holds you. And just bringing that awareness to your breath, notice your breath in. And as you exhale, invite a sigh, as if you're whispering the letter R from the back of your throat. Allow your exhalation to melt away the tensions in your body. Come to the in-breath. Notice the in-breath rising through the nostrils, and then again a silent R. From the back of your throat, and just sense that you can let go of effort. Your body gets heavier. The points of contact that meet the ground are getting more connected. One more breath like that. And then we're going to start to explore our first breathing space. So hands can cross over to meet the tops of your shoulders. If that's not possible, elbows on the ground, fingertips reach your collarbones. And we're going to listen, tune into the breath here. Try not to change the way you're breathing. Just notice the in-breath and how it rises into your hands. Collarbones lift and raise, up and out. So it's almost like that in-breath when your lungs fill with air. the top of the in-breath, it reaches your collarbones, maybe the soft tissue above your collarbones, maybe your shoulders. And on the exhale, let your hands just come a little bit closer to you. So you go with the natural grain of the exhale, releasing the collarbones down away from your ears, relaxing the jaw, taking a breath in. So I'd like you to tune into the sensations of this breathing space in the upper portion of your chest, your collarbones, your shoulders, the upper portions of your rib cage, but also on the ground, the back of the rib cage, the back of your shoulders as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, the softening, letting go into the earth. Hopefully you're already starting to feel more relaxed in yourself. Okay. Let's move to the next breathing space. So bring your hands over your rib cage like a hug. If that's not possible, elbows out to the side and you're finding the base of the rib cage. Where the rib cage meets the diaphragm as you breathe in, really connect to this part of yourself. So as your lungs fill with air, noticing the expansion around the rib cage, the upper portion of your abdomen, and then on the exhale, the softening, the gathering in. Try to keep your hands as relaxed as they can be. And as you get used to this sensation, you're getting into this breathing space in your body. Give yourself a little hug at the end of the exhale. Go with the natural grain of gathering in. Let your body become heavy. On the breath in, notice the expansion. And on the breath out, gathering in, letting go, settling. So you might like to bring your awareness to your upper back, the mid-spine, as you breathe in. As you fill your lungs with air, making that space, connecting with your diaphragm, allowing your breathing muscles to really breathe with you, your rib cage, your thoracic spine, really breathes with you. The more relaxed we can be, the more it will breathe more freely with you. And then our next breathing space is the lower belly. So I like to take a sort of triangular shape. My thumb and my index finger meet, yoni mudra, the womb mudra shape, or you could think of this as a downward pointing triangle towards your pubic bone. And as you breathe in now into the belly, navel rises. And as you breathe out, softening down through the navel, through your lower back, connecting down into that lower portion of your spine. On the breath in, really allowing yourself to take that full breath in. The belly can expand as your diaphragm expands. And then on the exhale, as the diaphragm contracts and draws in, the belly hollows. Really allow yourself to let go with each exhalation, letting go of effort, of tension, of worry. And then your lungs can fully fill with air, oxygenate your body, nourish your cells, and the belly can move more freely. The more relaxed we are in ourselves, the more happily the lungs will fill with air, the diaphragm will do its job more functionally, more freely. There'll be less tension in your tummy. Let go of that knot in your tummy even just the little one that's resting there. There are so many knots, so much effort that we hold on to in our stomach. So really allow your tummy to breathe with you. Full diaphragmatic breath. So let's explore a few other breathing spaces. Placing one hand underneath your tummy, one hand over the navel. Notice your breath here. What happens when you breathe in? What happens when you breathe out? These sorts of practices are great for reconnecting parts of ourselves that we have lost connection with. So like I said, if there's tension in the tummy, maybe we're not feeling everything there, maybe we're not able to feel the breath there, not activating the diaphragm as openly, as expansively as it can, then we're not going to be able to breathe into this part of our body, and the connections can be lost. So where else might you like to try breathing? Maybe give yourself a hug, see what happens there as you breathe in. Constricting certain parts of your body, you might more ably feel the breath filling up. So where else can you experience your breathing spaces? This can be quite a nice place here. Hands on your forehead and tuning into the sensation around the space between your shoulder blades. And noticing how that movement spreads into the elbows. So even from the shoulder blades to the elbows, and then the space between the elbows is a breathing space. But then also on the forehead, as you're breathing in and breathing out, noticing the movement of the hands against your forehead. Okay, let's bring our hands down alongside the body. Take a few moments here to pause, tilt your pelvis up and down a few times. Roll your head a little from side to side a few times. Notice how it feels as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And we're just going to take a moment to stretch those legs along the floor if that feels available to you today. Otherwise, keep them bent. If you're seated in a chair, you might like to come and rest onto your back at this stage, or stay seated if you'd prefer. And if you're standing, likewise, just change your position for a few moments, come and rest. And just take a few moments to observe the effects of the practice. Sense the breath moving up the body from the tips of your toes across the front of the body to the top of your head as you breathe in, like a cup filling with water. And as you breathe out, sense the breath moving down the back of the body from the top of your head. It touches your spine and it moves down to the soles of your feet as your lungs empty. The cup of water empties. Notice how your breath feels now compared to when you began. Does it feel smoother? Does it feel easier, longer? Can you sense that your whole body is one big, beautiful breathing space? When you feel ready to transition back into your day, have a little stretch. Roll to one side. Maybe there's a yawn there. Maybe there's a smile. When you're ready to come upright, just take your time, head heavy. Bring yourselves upright really steadily. Have a little check-in with yourself when you come back into your day. And just remember that you can draw upon practices such as this at any time when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling worried, when you're feeling a little bit wobbly in yourself. Hands on the body, connect to your breath, Connect to the present moment, the here and now, the breath in, the breath out, and how that breathing space feels to you in your body. Give yourself a little hug, and thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that breath-focused inquiry. Please do leave your comments in my comments section, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. All right, thank you so much.